Hello, Hamilton. Today is Friday, April 3rd. Thank you so much for tuning in with me to read another story. I'm so glad that I saw so many of you and your families yesterday coming to pick up your iPads from school. I think that was a really responsible thing to do. And now, next week, when we start our distance learning, you're going to be able to have a tool to help you with that. And if you kind of look at my face here a little bit, I was outside all day. And because it was so cold, I didn't realize I was standing in the sun the whole time, and I got sunburn on my face in April. Oh my goodness. Is it April Fool's Day? That's kind of what it feels like for Mr. Kilmer. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started with a really great story I'm going to be reading for all of you, okay? If you ever had me as a second grade teacher, you read this story before. It's one of my all-time favorites. We're going to be reading a story called Listen, Buddy, and it's written by Helen Lester. This story is all about listening and why it's so important to listen, which I know is something that everyone at home would probably appreciate me reading. So let's go ahead and get started. Buddy's father had a beautiful big nose. He was a great sniffer. Buddy's mother had beautiful big teeth. She was a great chomper. Buddy had beautiful big ears. It didn't matter. When Buddy's parents sent him to the vegetable stand to get a basket of squash, he came home with a basket of wash. Oh my goodness. When they asked him to buy 15 tomatoes, he came home with 50 potatoes. Those big ears are not helping him. Buddy's father said, "Listen, Buddy, will you please bring me a pen?" "Who?" asked Buddy. "You," said his father. "Will you please bring me a pen?" "A what?" asked Buddy. "A pen," said his father. "Will you please bring me a pen?" "Sure," said Buddy. Buddy's father said, "Listen, Buddy." All right, so I'm going to show you the pictures because they're really important for this story. See how his dad's asking him, what's Buddy doing when his dad's asking him a question? He's reading. Is he paying attention to his dad? Then he asks him again, is he looking at his dad? Then Buddy finally agrees to go and do it. And does he bring him a pen? What rhyming word did he bring him? A hen. Oh my goodness. Listen, Buddy. Buddy's mother said, "Listen, Buddy, will you please get me a slice of bread?" Look at Buddy. Do you think he's listening to her? Does this look like someone else you know? At home when their mom is talking to them? "Who?" asked Buddy. "You," said his mother. "Will you please get me a slice of bread?" "A what? Of what?" asked Buddy. "A slice of bread," said his mother. "Will you please get me a slice of bread?" "Sure," said Buddy. Buddy's mother said, "Listen, Buddy." Did he get a slice of bread? He sliced his bed. Oh my goodness, Buddy. He is not listening. Somehow Buddy's mind was always wandering too far away from those beautiful ears. His parents tried yelling, "Listen, Buddy!" They tried whispering, "Listen, Buddy!" But nothing worked. One day, Buddy got permission to go for a long hop. He had never before been allowed to go beyond the vegetable stand. "Listen, Buddy," his parents warned him. "Just remember that at the end of the road, there are two paths. The path on the left will lead you around the pond and back home. But the path to the right will lead you to the cave of the scruffy varmint. And that scruffy varmint has a nasty temper, so be sure to take the path to the left." "Right?" asked Buddy. "Left," said his parents. "Right," said Buddy. With the salute of his paw, he hopped away. I want you to make a prediction. Do you think Buddy really was listening to them and knows which direction he should go? Feeling very grown up, Buddy hopped along past the vegetable stand and on to the end of the road. Now let's see, he pondered. Was I supposed to go left or right? Or right or left? He thought as hard as he could. The last thing I said was right. So that must be right. Right, he went. And look, the way to the left, look at how nice and peaceful. The way to the right, uh-oh. He didn't listen. 25 hops later, Buddy discovered that right was actually wrong. There in front of his cave was the scruffy varmint, doing scruffy things that varmints do, like snarling, messing up his hair, rubbing dirt on his knees, and scratching a whole lot of itches. At his feet was a large soup pot. "What are you going to do with that soup pot?" asked Buddy. "What does one usually do with a soup pot? Bake a pie?" replied the scruffy varmint, not too kindly. "I'm going to make some soup." "Some what?" asked Buddy. "Soup," snarled the scruffy varmint. Varmint's another word for an animal, maybe that doesn't always look the best, maybe is a little bit dirty, right? He definitely looks like a varmint. Buddy had forgotten his parents' warning about the scruffy varmint. He asked eagerly, "May I help?" The scruffy varmint was not fond of having company, but with all the help, he'd have his soup sooner. So he said, "All right, Bunny Rabbit. Come help me gather firewood." "Who? What?" asked Buddy. "You. Firewood." Buddy eagerly hopped ahead of the scruffy varmint. Very gently, he gathered a large, prickly bundle, which he held out proudly. Roughly, the varmint grabbed the bundle. "I said firewood, not briarwood," he yelped, plucking the sharp thorns from his paws. Briarwood has thorns in it. He wanted firewood that's not pokey. Buddy didn't listen. Later, when the pot was filled with water, the scruffy varmint lay against a rock, licking his paws and barking orders. "Hustle, Bunny Rabbit, get the flour." "Yes, sir," said Buddy. "Do you think you got the right type of flour for soup?" 5 pinches of salt." "Yes, sir," said Buddy. Uh-oh, that is not 5 pinches. That's 5 inches. 15 tomatoes." "Yes, sir," said Buddy. He did the 50 potatoes again. Oh my goodness, Buddy. "And a big load of squash." "Yes, sir," said Buddy. What did he do instead of the squash last time? A basket of wash. Oh, Buddy. The scruffy varmint rose and gave the soup a stir. He took a taste. It tasted a little like, well, a little. Maybe it needed some pepper. "Bunny Rabbit, get the pepper from the left side of the kitchen sink," the varmint growled. "Who get the what from the where side of the where what?" asked Buddy. Uh-oh. I think that scruffy varmint is not going to be happy. The scruffy varmint repeated, "Who get the what from the where side of the where what?" "Never mind." He stalked into the kitchen and got the pepper himself and sprinkled it into the soup. "There," he snarled. "Now, Bunny Rabbit, put the soup on the fire." Buddy put the soup in the fire. Oh, he didn't listen. The fire went sss. So did the scruffy varmint. "I'll teach you," he howled. "I will have soup. Bunny Rabbit soup. And I know just the bunny to use. The Bunny Rabbit who never listens." Buddy listened. Now, remember back at the beginning of the story when Buddy was not listening, right? What were some of the things he was doing? Watching TV, reading a book, already running away from his parents without staying to listen to the directions. What's he doing with the scruffy varmint now? He's looking at the scruffy varmint. His ears are facing the scruffy varmint. His body is still. He's thinking about what the scruffy varmint is saying. Before, was he thinking about what they were saying, or was he thinking about TV in his book. Yeah, he was thinking about other things. Now he's showing that he's listening. He's showing he's thinking about what the person's actually saying. He also hopped very, very, very fast. Faster than he had ever hopped in his entire life, he whizzed up the road past the vegetable stand and into the safety of his house. And a little later, when Buddy's parents asked him to bring a pen and a slice of bread, Buddy listened. Excellent job. I love that story. I think it's such a clever story, and I really like how they teach you an important lesson. So here's what I'm thinking you should do for your literacy challenge for today. It's going to be kind of two parts. The first thing I think that would be great for you to do, it would be to write a summary of what happened in the story. So you need to tell me who the character is, for the most part where they are, what happened in the beginning, the middle, and the end. Okay? So you're not going to do all the details. Instead of saying, Buddy sliced his bed instead of bringing a slice of bread, or he brought a hen instead of a pen, you can just say, in the beginning, Buddy didn't listen to his parents, right? Because that covers all of it. Then you can talk about the scruffy varmint, and then you can talk about how he listened. So that's the first part of your literacy challenge. You could write that down. You could talk through your summary with someone if you'd rather do it that way. Doesn't matter. The second thing I want you to do, I want you to think about the point of view of the characters in this story. How did they view what was happening in the story? Think about Buddy. What was he thinking about at the beginning instead of listening? What do you think his parents were thinking about? And I want to see if you can kind of compare how their points of view were the same and contrast how their points of view were different. So maybe talk about how did they view the situation in the same way and how did they view it differently? How did their points of view change at the end? You could also choose to compare the scruffy varmint and Buddy. It doesn't matter. But pick a couple of characters and see if you can compare how they viewed the story. All right? That'd be a great way to kind of keep those literacy skills sharp, be thinking about what's happening in the story, and be able to explain how you can think and reason through a book with your family. I hope you had a great time reading this story. I'm so glad that you tuned in. We're going to be doing another story on Monday, so please check back in. I know you're also going to be starting your work on your iPads. Maybe this story can be part of your daily routine. When you finish all of your work, maybe this could be your reward. You get to listen to a story with me. There's all sorts of different ways you can do it. I hope that there will be more people able to watch these videos now that you all have your iPads. All right, I hope that you have a great rest of your day. I hope that you have a great weekend, and I hope that you listen to everyone at home and you're not like Buddy here who's not listening. Bye, Hamilton.